Hello crafters and welcome to Spring into Sandown online craft show brought to you by From Picture to Page and Beyond Papercraft Shows. I'm Michelle Brown, Creative Director at From Picture to Page, which is our scrapbooking, mixed media art and paper crafting community, and I'm just delighted that you can join us for this session. Now, Spring into Sandown has a whole heap of demonstrations from our talented retailers and some very special guest artists. So for all the details, head over to our website from picturetopageandbeyond.com.au where you can see all the sessions, you can see the times, you can get in touch with our retailers, and of course we love you supporting our local businesses. Now, while you're there, make sure you're on our email list so we can send you out all the details, let you know what's coming up, and then hopefully send you out our details at our in-person shows for 2022. Now, whether you're watching us here live on Facebook or whether you're watching us in YouTube or a replay, just let us know you're here. Pop in the comments, just like Florina and Denise and Wendy have done. Say hi, ask any questions as you go along, and of course, like us and share us with your crafty friends because everyone needs to see what we're doing here today. So today we are most delighted to spring into Sandown with art by Marlene. Hello, Marlene.
Hi, Michelle. Wonderful to be here. Excited.
Oh, we are so excited. And you've just had a huge new product release. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Oh, well, yeah. This time around, I have Out of This World release and extension on my Essential release, which includes 24 new acrylic paints. And, of course, I'm really happy about those. It's my babies.
Aren't they just beautiful?
Yeah, I'm really happy about those. And it's just finally something that I've done that I really wanted for a long time, and quality-wise and the way that the tubes work and the way that you hold them and everything is exactly what I wanted. So I'll show you how I'm going to work with them. And for the rest of the range, the best thing to do is either go onto my Facebook or onto my Instagram or even join the Art by Marlene Creatives group, where all of my design team members post their makes. And then you can really see what the products includes and what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a huge range. You've got background papers, you've got die cuts, you've got dyes. And like I said, having paints just takes that to the next level.
Yes, and that's why I'm not telling you about the whole range because it's quite extensive range. It's gone. The Out of This World release is really more space themed, more out of this world, angels, fairies, weird creatures, and all of things that's not reality in another world rather than out of this world. And the Essential release is all your really mixed media type of products. So you have to imagine that it's your back stamps, all your textures that I love to use in my product ranges, where you can make your own like collage papers with or background stamp your backgrounds with. And that's a bit of a technique that I'm also going to show you today, and how you apply those background stamps. So I'm going to use my Essential release mainly today. And so not Out of This World, but I'm going to do the Essential release. I think the technique that I'm going to show today is something that you can either use in scrapbook layouts, or you can use it in your art journal, but you can also use it on a canvas. Whatever you want to do, you can really use this in all these styles.
Yeah, excellent. Well, should we jump right in then?
Oh, yes, I'm ready for it.
Okay. Excellent. So while Marlene is getting her screen ready, we are just, like we said, we can see so many people there, and Marlene can see you all there as well. So we just need to, perhaps Marlene, just give it that nice little flick to get the camera to work with us, and we'll be right jumping into it. Jump right into it.
Okay, you're going to zoom in.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, I am almost ready for you guys, and quite excited to show you all what we're going to do. This is really what we are going to create today. And you can see it's a slimline card. I'm going to not really keep to the slimline measurements exactly. It's just a long card. Usually it's about, I do it about 20 by 7.5 to 10 centimeters. So it's not the actual slimline format. So what we're going to start with is my all-round paper. This is the old packaging of it, but this is my all-round watercolor paper. So I'm going to start with the book of that, and I'm just going to tear one sheet from that. I'm going to put the card sample to the side. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start with paint. So with the paints, I'm just going to grab a few colors here. And I'm going to put the paint at the top corner. And this color is punk. This is from the neon range. I'm going to use a spatula. I'm using a Nuvo spatula, but you can use any spatula. And I'm keeping a bit of kitchen towel to the side. And I'm just going to pull that paint down to the end. So I'm doing a whole page because what I want to do is these circles are also from the same piece of paper. So I'm just going to cut them out in circles and add them later. So I want a whole piece of paper in the same color scheme. I see one of my design team members on, Tammy. Hey, Tam. So let's pull another color down. And I'm pressing quite firmly. Depending on what the opacity is, what you want, you can use more firmer pressure or you can use a lighter pressure. I want it to dry quite quickly. So I want it to, I don't want too much pressure. So I'm going to just put the next color. I'm going to pull that down. And I kind of like the streakiness that it gives you when you just pull the color down the next. And I'm usually what I do is if I put my color down, I put one color down, I pull it, I clean my brush or my spatula, and then I do the next color. If you don't do that, what you would end up there with is that all the colors mix with one another and you'll just get a very dirty. In between, if you see the colors, you can use a baby white just to clean the excess off. So I'm going to go from that light. This was the last color that I used was Mermaid. So from Mermaid, I'm going to go over to a lighter blue called Heaven. So I'll put Heaven down there. And then after Heaven, let's do Kermit. Kermit is the light green. No. It's very simple, very effective, and very easy. I'm all about usually everything that's easy. I usually say, "Oh, that's mine." If it's easy, it's mine. Let's put a.
Sometimes it's nice not to make things complicated.
Well, everything is easy if you just break it down into smaller steps, I guess. It's just the way that you apply it and the way that you actually end up using your products. And this one is called Happy. That's the bright yellow. So let's put the bright yellow over there. Go over to, I'm not going to go to the orange yet. I'm going to go to hot pink. And pink is actually the red pink, the reddish pink in the neons. The bright pink is called Funky. And the reddish pink is the hot pink. It's like curry. Chili. Let's see. That's the next one. So then I'm going to soften it down a bit again with Pony. So I have the next one. And then let's do Ballet. That's next one. It's also a very process to do this, I can tell you.
It is. It's so relaxing watching you do it.
Yeah, it is. It feels really, makes you feel very tranquil.
And like you said, we're just playing with some paint. It just has that right feel to it. No pressure.
No, I don't like pressure. I'm just going to pull excess paint everywhere away so it can dry easily. And I'm going to finish off, I think, with the bright pink, the funky. So I've got a whole of colors down now. And now you can decide on which part of it you want to use. So you can now go and measure from this side on up to here, or you can take it to the other side, depending on what your preference is. I'm going to hit it with the heat tool just for a second. Just to make sure it's dry before I start cutting and moving the colors around. Well, you can. The paints are fabulous, and especially the way of application is perfect, and the display where they are all held in is just so easy because you always know where all your paints are. And for the purpose of the live, I'm of course just lying them down here, but usually I would always put them down back to exactly where they were because it makes life so much easier. Okay, so the thing that you're going to do, you're not going to cut it to size yet. So the first thing we're going to start doing is we're going to take the stamps out and we're going to start decorating this background. So you've got all these different stamps that you can use. Mine is well loved and well used. What you can see is usually when you get a stamp set, you get a backing board and you get 2 mylar sheets. It's like these see-through sheets where they are stuck onto one side and the other is the flat on top. So what I do is I stick the back mylar sheet onto my backing sheet with double-sided tape, and I put a piece of sellotape on the side. So I just have all my sets like this.
Oh, what a fantastic idea. I keep always trying to put them back in the bags and it just becomes
No,
bothersome.
that irritates me so much. It drives me totally wonkers. So this way I can see exactly which stamps should be in there, and I have them all together. So I just keep mine all, you can see. And when I use a background stamp, I just flip this over and I can just use this as my stamp.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's good to know. And I
So,
do love that one. That's gorgeous.
yeah, so this is the stamps we're going to use. So I'm going to start off by using this little stitch element. So I'm just going to use a ruler, and I'm going to use my ruler as a stamping block. And that's what I use for my larger, longer stamps because I don't have a long stamping block. So I'm going to just turn it to the side. I usually look for the way that is the easiest way for me to use it. So let's start. And this part does not have to be perfect, of course, because it doesn't really matter exactly the way that you're going to stamp. Because this is a background. This is the interest that we're creating on the background. Just
yeah.
Parts thereof. So we're going to first do the whole page and then we cut it out at the end. So I'm going with the lines because if you go across, it becomes too much for, I think, personally. So I accentuate the way that the lines flow at the moment. So I'm going to go and use those lines as a guide. Oops. So then more. I'm using StazOn ink. I'm a big fan of stays on. But I do have to say that it's very important if you use your stays on acrylic, it's very important that you have a stays on re-inker.
Right.
And that every few times that you use your stays on ink, just give it a bit of a re-ink, and that way it stays wet enough and it's as easy to apply your color, and it isn't too dry to pull your acrylic, because sometimes it actually just pulls your acrylic paint off your page if it's too dry, because it's very sticky. So I'm a big fan of that. So I'm going to put this one back. And I'm going to use the circles, I think. And I don't want all of the circles. So get a bit of a, and I thought of doing, I've got another one that I've prepared already, but it is important for me to show you how you build it up, because a lot of people get lost in building up the kind of backgrounds. So I won't bore you with the whole cutting down of everything.
You're not boring us at all. There's just something so therapeutic about watching other people craft. I think we all appreciate, how much effort it goes into and what it takes. So it's always pleasant to watch. I watched a video of someone just gluing down paper, and it was so relaxing.
I don't know if I could watch that all the time.
Not all the time, but it was just fascinating watching someone else's technique.
I know. I mean, usually people think that I don't watch videos of everyone, but I kind of love the way, and it's usually the simple things that they do that interest me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that you think, oh, that's handy the way they're holding that, or that's...
Or like you said, using a ruler when you don't have a long stamp block. That's just genius.
I mean, everyone has a ruler, I think.
Yeah.
So, and what I like is a ruler has a bit of give. So with these texture stamps, I can actually just lift it up.
Yeah,
if I
it's
don't
a good balance
press the whole
between
thing
not
down.
using a block at all, but having a thick one. Yeah, I like it.
So to me, it works for the purpose I need it for. So I'm going to put this one down. And that is so easy with this, because you just close it up and it's like a folder.
Oh, I think
Just
we're all going to
fold it
be
away.
doing that to our stamps this weekend.
It's just so easy. It makes life so much less complicated. I'm all about easy.
And I think my girls would be more than happy for me to throw out all the plastic bags that I keep putting them back into.
But the thing is, the plastic bags, I've actually had a look into getting my stamps done without plastic bags, or without the cheap plastic bags. Because the plastic bags are just so bad for the environment. Getting them in recycled plastic bags, but then the packaging is awful because it's not totally clear, the recycled plastic bags. And putting them in, I thought of putting them into like a envelope where you have like a little Velcro at the back. So you buy them in already in a packaging, but all people have types of packaging. So it's not always handy to sell packaging, because if you have a total different way of doing all your other type of stamps in a certain packaging or a storage system, you don't want to pay the extra. So it's just it's a difficult balance of what should you do, how to be different, but not forcing people to be different with you. Okay. Let's see, I've got that done. And now I'm going to do this one. This is one of my favorites. It's just a little simple little circle, but it's just very effective. See, and that's the thing. You don't have to press the whole thing down every time. You can just pull it up a bit. That is something that you can usually not do with a normal acrylic block. So let's put that down. Okay, enough stamping on there, I think. What I want to do is just add a bit of a different color on there. And for that, I'm going to use Stays On as well. But I'm going to use the Stays On, the Fuchsia Pink. Close this little one. And just randomly apply the ink. Maybe just a little bit more. It's more than enough. You don't want to overkill. So that is what you have at the end. So that is really what you get to work with. So what I usually do is I will first just at the back almost ready. I'll just draw a line where I can cut on, because I want to cut off that little border. You can use a cutting, whatever you want to do. I'm a scissor girl. That, and then of course, now you can look at putting a, so let's see what we're going to do. I think we're going to put that up there. I'm going to use this part and I'm going to about that. You can see I don't have real measurement. I just kind of try to wing it. Just make sure that the other line was straight enough. So I'll do that. So that is my background for the card. And you can also put that on a piece of black paper if you want to. That's not a problem at all. And then now you're going to go into this part. And you are going to have a look at what circles you want on there.
Okay.
So you can now start. For example, you can start putting one there. This is too, maybe I won't put this one on the side, it's too big there. Just a circle shape. Maybe have another circle shape over there.
Your circles are amazingly circular. I'll have to practice that.
Oh well, I don't think they're very circular, but it's just, I'm going to put that one down there, like so, and then I'm going to, I think this one needs to be smaller. Be careful for everything not to become too heavy for your page. That is something that sometimes happen, that you put too much in the front and it overbears the rest of your page. So I'm going to just a little circle, maybe like that, and maybe a half circle there. Put that to the side. Just do a. So let's do that for now. Don't want to run out of time. I don't know how I'm doing with time.
Oh, you're doing all right. You got another 10 or 15 minutes. Doing fine.
Oh, that's fine. So let's press this one down. This is my sticky multi-glue. It's a wonderful, wonderful glue. It is not prone to clogging, so that is fine. stick this one down there. Oh, I forgot something. Before I have to sorry. Sorry.
No, is it too late?
No, it's not never too late.
The benefits of using glue over double-sided tape.
Oh, that is definitely so. I'm going to just quickly stick these on. I've got this Border Patrol, this die, and I usually put my pre-cut
that's
dies.
clever.
So I just...
so you can have them all cut ready to go. Fantastic.
Yeah. This one is prone to irritating me. So you can either use two sides. This one has a broader border because if you want to stick it onto a page, so you can cut it down if you want to, but you can also just leave it on a page so you can use it as a border. It doesn't really cut the side. Right. You have to cut it yourself.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's very clever.
So you can actually use it as edging on a journal page if you've got a journal like mine that you have inserts. So you can use that. So I'm going to just stick this one down, I think, at the top here. I'll have to lift the end there. And that is easy because my glue dries up matte and clear. So if it sticks out on the sides, don't worry, you won't see it when it dries. So that is not a problem whatsoever. Otherwise, you usually get the shiny parts of it. But this is not a problem with mine. So I just really, and it's got a thin nib. So I'm just going to put it in there. Pull that one down so it's straight down. Goes with the lines of the paint. Okay. And then this one, I'm going to put I think I might want to just do there, yeah. So once again, you put your glue on. It's not a difficult process. You just kind of just slap it on. Fine nib. I can hear the rain on your roof now, Michelle.
Oh, can you? Yes, it's quite heavy here this afternoon.
Oh, well, perfect crafting weather.
It is.
That's perfect for you guys. I mean, then you don't feel guilty of not going because you don't get to go outside.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let the edge fall off, and I'm just gonna cut it down. So see, I'll put that circle over that part. So let's do. So of course I have to re-stick it, but that's not a problem. See, solved. Problem solved. And this one. That is, if you act quickly. I say that if you've got kids, you can craft because you have to learn how to adapt easily when you craft.
That's
so once
true.
people have kids, you can usually craft.
Well, we believe everyone can be creative, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got that on there. So that's already quite ready to go. I've got another one, but it's too much. So I'm going to put that one to the side. I'm going to just cut this one down. And I will probably put this on a black baking board and just leave a small border around it afterwards before I send it, because I'm a messy crafter. So now you want to put on a focal point. So you can decide on putting something like that on, or this. And this is from the stamp sets. I'll just show you. This is from the stamp set. So I stamp it onto white paper, one colored paper you can also do. And you just cut the pieces out that you want. So you're really now going to have a look. This is pieces that I've already cut out. So you can see, do I want to replace it? No, I don't. But I can see that I've got these hearts. There's little small hearts. And I kind of like the look of putting some of these hearts on there. I kind of like the look of that. I can also see I stamp it out like that, and you just kind of cut it out. I like embossing it because it becomes even blacker, more, and everything. So first, before I'm going to do that, I'm going to just use my black pen, and I'm going to squiggle and just wiggle with my pen around these circles.
Now, Marlene, Wendy was just asking, do you know what brand your scissors are?
Yeah, they Tim Holtz.
The Tim Holtz ones. Excellent.
Yeah. You've got a small one, you've got a medium one, and this is the medium size. Because you also have the bigger ones, but I like this one because it's got a long and a very fine tip. And that is, to me, very important. Go around those sides and just put those scribble lines. Don't be too neat about this because then it kind of ruins everything.
And no one's asked yet, but I'm sure someone's going to want to know, what pen are you using?
I'm using a Pilot Permaball. In Europe, we can't really find them everywhere anymore.
Right.
Because I think they've actually stopped making them. But the Uniball Eye is also a good option. And the pen of Dina is like, Dina also has a pen.
The food ball one.
Yeah, and I kind of like that one, but it's just sometimes too thick for me.
Yeah, and it does smudge, as I found out recently. You do need to let it dry properly first.
Yeah. So this is okay. This doesn't really smudge. So I'm going to just put that heart down. And of course, you can choose to put it onto your 3D tape or something like that. When I use 3D tape, usually, I do choose to use the one with black 3D tape so that you don't see the one underneath. So that is just something, a matter of choice, what you want to create. Kind of like the 3 white hearts on there. And then what I also have is then I've got this die here. And this die, actually, when you die cut it, it actually cuts out of your page. You can see that. So you can use it on a card and use a different, like gold cardstock at the back, and it shines through. But you can also use the pieces that you cut out, and you can use those and add them as little highlights to your page.
What a great idea.
Show you what it is.
See, I do keep all those bits. I'm sure Wendy would be telling me to throw them out, but I like keeping everything.
Well, that's why I've got these envelopes, because I keep my dies in envelopes. So I've already thrown mine out here, but I just put them at the back. Everything that's with their die set, I keep it in there. So you can see that little, it just gives you a little shimmer. I'll be fine with time, I think. Maybe here. You see, it just looks like
yeah,
it radiates light. So that is about it for that part. And then I have a text usually that I do. So what I like to do is I've used the stamp set where you've got the 2 texts: missing you, lots of love, friendship, well done, you are the best, hooray, thank you, don't give up, dream a little, and you've got the 2 borders. Now these 2 are perfect for you to make a swatch card with your paints. So you can just stamp these onto your page, and then you can just swatch all your colors with your paints on there.
Oh, that's
But you can
clever.
also use them for your texts. So I did Missing You and Lots of Love. So what I did is I did it on 3 colors. I did it on black, I did it on pink, and I did it on yellow. And I actually embossed it with white. And then I just cut around the text so that you can create something like that. I think you can just see what you need for that page. So do you want a yellow? Do you want it in pink?
Yeah, it is good that you can sort of just check each one, isn't it? And decide.
Do you want Lots of Love, for example? Because you've got the hearts there. But you can also put it in black on there. But you can also stick this one down onto black and cut around it once more.
Yeah.
So you've got a double backing. So for now, I'm just going to use the pink, the Lots of Love. I think I'm going to put that on there. Let's see, multi-glue stick. And that's the thing, I use a lot of glue. And because this is all with all the stuff in my paints and in my glue is all tested external people, and all of the raw materials are from Europe. It's made in Europe, and it complies with all the regulations. So there's nothing in there to make you sick or cause cancer or whatever. And that's something that I like.
Oh, that's good to
about
know.
it. It's a very good quality, so you can feel free to work with your hands when you're using that. So what I usually like to do at this stage is just use on ink, and I just use a little sponge. It's like a makeup wedge, and you can do whatever you want, but I like to create a type of an edging. It just finishes it off. I kind of like the look of it.
Yeah,
Not
it just gives
everyone
it that
likes
finishing
it.
touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know that not a lot of people, not all of people, not all of the people can like it. You can't please all of the people all the time. But I think it does finish something to make it more, give it a finished look. And of course, you can go in and you can add little highlights or detail pieces now. And for example, this is a nice ink that covers the brilliance, Galaxy Gold. So if you want to, you could add small, tiny little highlights or features where you just do little text pieces with the gold. Just to give it a bit of a shimmer at some places. And you can maybe, I don't know, can you see that on camera?
Oh, just, yeah.
So that you can do, and what I usually think is it just gives it a bit of a shimmer without, it's only for people that which receive it that gives it a really pretty, interesting, I don't know, I'll maybe photograph it. You'll be able to see it in a better way.
Oh, fantastic, Marlene. We've got lots of people just loving your work as well.
Thank you very, very much. And I loved that you can all see it. But I hope that you kind of see the way that the paints work, if anything, and the glue. Something that I'm as proud as Punch about.
As you should be. That's fantastic.
And I hope that share you how you can easily use my stamps. For example, this you don't have to use it as a whole stamp, but rather stamp it out, like I said, and cut pieces off of it. Like this, I would also, I stamp this one out, and I just cut off the excess. And what you can do, if you don't like cutting off the excess, if you wanted to, example, use this on here, you could first stamp onto the cardstock directly, and then afterwards stamp on white or on a different color, and then just just match it up. So then the extended lines
Oh, yeah, okay.
would just go through. So that's the easy way. So hope that you enjoyed it.
Excellent, we did. Well, let's get you back up and then we'll finish up.
Yeah. Okay, I will.
Excellent. Oh, wasn't that just amazing? I think Marlene had so many ideas. I love that idea of making those stamps into a bit of a folder. I definitely will be doing that next week. And it is just such a great way to be able to have them ready to go. Because like I said, putting them back in the bag isn't always the easiest thing to do. So it's nice to be able to do that. It looks like Marlene's ready. So Marlene,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Oh, thank you very, very much. And thank you very much for inviting me and for having
Oh,
me as
you're
part of your
welcome. We
community.
just can't wait for you to come back and visit Australia again.
Neither can I, because there's a bonus for me in it always, because my family lives in Australia. So my mother and my sister lives on the Sunshine Coast. So to me, it's a bonus to come to Australia. So when picking and choosing time comes from where I would go to my abroad trips, Australia always has just that little.
Yeah, something added. Excellent. Well, Marlene, no, thank you so much for sharing your mixed media love, and thank you so much for your new product releases. We're just absolutely loving them.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, I will pop in. I've got a craft weekend this weekend.
How exciting.
A nice, yeah, it's a very nice craft weekend. So it's in a hotel quite close by a coastal little town. But when I will answer all questions for everyone. I will pop back in and see if there's any
Oh,
questions.
fantastic. Thank you so much, Marlene, and thanks for joining us
Okay,
today.
love you.
Excellent. Well, I hope you enjoyed that demonstration just as much as I did. I think we might just finish there and go and get painting for the rest of the weekend. But no, we have plenty more coming up with Spring into Sandown. So like we said, hop over to our website, spring from picture2page.com.au, where you can see all the sessions, who's coming up, who has already been, all the links to the websites, and of course all the information. And just like everyone is doing, pop in the comments, let us know that you're there, ask any questions, send us some love, and of course share us with your crafty friends. So this is Michelle signing off. We hope you have a crafty day.